The unincorporated community called Ely was nearly blindsided by the most powerful tornado in Canadian history. On June 22nd of 2007, an F5 tornado touched down as part of a two-day tornado outbreak in the area. At its widest and strongest, the Ely storm spanned 150 yards, with wind speeds reaching between 260 and 320 miles per hour. Just as the storm touched down, some storm chasers were there to film it. You can see debris swarming around the base of the twister as it rips through an open field. Our storm chasers worry about the tornado potentially hitting the town, but there's nothing they can do but sit and watch. At one point, the storm looks like an eldritch horror coming down from the ominous sky. Then, the storm still caused $39 million in damage, destroying a flour mill and several houses, while tossing one car 330 feet like a Hot Wheel. Now, there's been some dispute regarding the F5 rating, especially after Canada adopted the Enhanced Fujita Scale, or EF, in 2013. Basically, the EF scale accounts for damage more than wind speed. For example, an F5 tornado on the old scale meant wind speeds between 261 and 318 miles per hour. On the new scale, it's anything over 200 that causes significant damage. Thankfully, nobody lost their lives in the Ely tornado, but it still goes down as the strongest twister in Canadian history. Wichita Falls is a city in northern Texas and home to just over 100,000 people. It's the administrative center of Wichita County and has a long-standing relationship with powerful tornadoes. On Friday, April 3rd of 1964, an F5 tornado touched down in Wichita Falls, causing $15 million in property damage, or about $143 million today. The event was known as Black Friday, years before the phrase became synonymous with the day after Thanksgiving. The storm destroyed 225 homes and damaged another 250, but it pales when compared to the 1979 storm, aptly named Terrible Tuesday.
Anyone in the sound of my voice, there is a tornado on the ground near the Psych Center area in Wichita Falls. Please take cover.
On April 10th of 1979, a violent weather outbreak in North Texas spawned 13 tornadoes in the Texoma area, an interstate region between Texas and Oklahoma. Wichita Falls got hit with the most powerful storm in the series, a record-setting F4 tornado that wouldn't be topped for another 20 years. Around 6 p.m., a mile-and-a-half-wide tornado struck near Memorial Stadium, right in the heart of Wichita Falls. The area was heavily populated, and despite the early warnings an hour before the storm, 42 people still lost their lives, and another 1,800 suffered injuries. The storm hit just when people were getting home from work, perhaps stuck in traffic without enough time to find shelter. Terrible Tuesday left 20,000 people without homes and caused $400 million in damage, or just over $1.6 billion today. It set the record for the most costly tornado in American history until the 1999 F5 tornado in Moore, Oklahoma ascended to the throne. Now, if you're deathly afraid of tornadoes, May of 2013 was a bad year to live anywhere near the Oklahoma City metro area. The town of Moore was already recovering from the EF5 tornado that ripped through the city on May 20th. Then, 11 days later, another record-setting storm touched down 40 minutes west in El Reno. The worst part? It was only one of the dozens throughout the week. The storm hit around 6 p.m., roughly 8 miles southwest of the city. As it moved over open fields, the storm snowballed in size, eventually becoming the widest tornado ever recorded at 2.6 miles wide. For reference, that's about as wide as 38 football fields lined up end zone to end zone. The storm was a multi-vortex tornado, meaning several smaller tornadoes rotated around the central vortex. Thankfully, the storm stayed over open terrain, limiting its destruction and impact on human life. Still, 8 people